Chapter 1. Product Introduction.
This equipment is a central air conditioning training platform. Its characteristic is the ability to cool and heat. We can set up the circuits inside to control the cooling and heating of this air conditioner. It consists of 4 parts in total. Firstly, this radiator consists of a water tank, water pump, and other components inside. Secondly, there is a compressor inside the refrigeration and heating system here, and this hot water heater. And there is also a hot and cold converter above, composition of blower, etc. This air duct is directly connected to the wind cabinet. Thirdly, there are wires and some protective switches inside this distribution box. Fourthly, this wind cabinet is just a simple box cabinet.
Chapter 2. Operating Instructions and Precautions.
Next, I will talk about the precautions before operating the equipment. Firstly, it is necessary to check whether the equipment is leaking water or oil, and have these valves been properly closed. Also, check if there is any leakage of the air conditioning refrigerant here, and check if there is any water leakage on the heating water tank. After inspection, then we open the electrical box. Turn on the leakage protection switch of the electrical box. Then this place is a switch. Let's press it to see if it works. If it works, we'll put it up. Then cover the electrical box properly.
Chapter 3. Training Courses. 1. Introduction of main components.
Next, let me introduce these main components and its functions. Firstly, this is the distribution box control system. It is divided into 2 modules, control panel and control box. This is the control panel, which includes other switches such as the touchscreen and start switch. The second is the control box. There are power switches, relays, and other electrical components inside the control box. There is a faulty switch below the distribution box. We can set faults through these switches. Then there is the cooling system. We see that this is the compressor of the cooling system, which mainly has a cooling function, and the heat exchanger of this condenser. This is the evaporator heat exchanger. Liquid storage tank, drying bottle, and this night vision mirror, expansion valve, pressure switch and pressure gauge, hot water pump and pressure gauge, chilled water pump and pressure gauge, cooling water pump and pressure gauge, cooling tower, makeup water tank. This indoor temperature control, indoor fan. Next, I will introduce the main components of the heating system. Firstly, this is a water heater used for heating hot water, and indoor constant temperature duct fan. Next, I will introduce the ventilation system. Firstly, this is the supply fan. It sends the wind inside this cabinet. This is the air supply duct, return duct, supply air duct valve, fresh air duct valve, air filter, air heating cooler.
2. System Working Process Demonstration.
Next, I will demonstrate how to operate it. Firstly, we will connect the 380 volts power supply. Then we open the electrical box. Turn on the leakage protection switch inside the electrical box to power it on. Then we see on this control panel and pull out the emergency switch. Then we will press this start switch again. At this time, the control panel is powered on. After entering the interface, there are manual and automatic operation options displayed here. Now let's choose this manual one. It has options for controlling the fan to turn on or for cooling and heating. When we are cooling and heating, first of all, we need to pay attention to the water pipe valve on this side, which must be closed properly. When cooling, make sure to turn off the heating system, and when heating, make sure to turn off the cooling system. We can see that there are many setting options here. We can go to the cabinet here, and it can also adjust the air volume of warm air and cold air, and so on.
3. Electrical signal measurement.
Next, let's conduct signal testing. We first measure the voltage signal of 380 volts. Set the multimeter to the AC voltage range of 600 volts. Then we measure if there are voltages of 380 volts and 220 volts. We first measure the voltage of 380 volts using any pair of red wires for measurement. It can be seen that the multimeter shows a voltage of 380 volts, indicating normal operation. Measure that any two pairs of red terminals have a voltage of 380 volts. Then we measure the voltage of 220 volts with the red probe connected to any red wire interface and the black probe connected to the blue wire interface. It can be seen that there is a voltage of 220 volts displayed. Signal test completed.
4. Fault setting and troubleshooting.
Next, let's set up a fault. We can see that there are many fault settings here. Let's take the first malfunction as an example. This is a fault setting where the expansion valve is blocked. After simulating the blockage of the expansion valve, it won't work in the entire air conditioning system as a protective measure. We will restore the faulty switch and the fault will be eliminated. Then the entire system can work.
Chapter 4. Equipment maintenance.
Next, I will introduce the maintenance of the equipment. Firstly, in terms of electricity usage, it should be noted that there will be a leakage protection switch inside. Because when using electricity for a long time, we need to ensure that this leakage protection switch can trip. We can press this button to simulate its leakage and see if it can trip. Check its quality once a month. Now I press down to simulate it leaking electricity, and the power will jump off, indicating that it is working properly. If the switch doesn't jump off when we go for maintenance, it means there is a problem with the switch and it must be replaced. If you want to restore it, just press down on the blue one and put it back on. Then come here for refrigeration and heating. For refrigeration, snow seats will be used during operation. Check the pressure gauge and regularly check for any pressure leaks. If it leaks out, it will cause frostbite to the human body. And if the compressor runs idle, the machine will be damaged. And these joints need to be checked for any water leaks. Also, this water heater will contain water and needs to be cleaned regularly. If there is water for a long time, it may rust inside and cause malfunctions.
Thanks for watching.